Hey everybody, we're Tillison Consulting and we love digital marketing, and you're listening to the Inside Digital podcast. This is your one-stop shop to learn and expand your knowledge within the digital marketing space. It's never been more important to have an online presence, and in this show, our experts will talk about SEO, PPC, and everything in between. They'll share their personal insights, experiences, and strategies they're taking advantage of so the rest of us can do the same. Here's today's episode. Hello, welcome to today's podcast. We are going to be talking about conversions on Facebook from clicks to customers. I'm Tom Hughes, I'm a campaign manager at Tillison Consulting, and this is Afia Brown.
Hello, I'm Afia, and one of the campaign managers here at Tillison Consulting. And I'm excited. We're talking about Facebook.
Yeah.
Clicks to customers.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, right? I think we have a lot to talk about. A lot of questions rolling around with Facebook ads in particular, because they're sort of thing that people don't know about, but are quite good when you actually can use them properly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they do work. So we've got a few questions to go through that people have been asking, and hopefully can be helpful to other people that are watching this, listening to this as well. So we'll just roll on with question number one. So it's a big question, I guess, is do people actually convert on Facebook?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good question, because the Facebook ads marketing is interruption method, right? Of how you're just scrolling on your Facebook, you're probably switching off from work or something like that, and you see an ad come up. You have no intention behind it. It's different to search marketing, where you're actually searching for something and you perhaps have the intention to buy or to convert.
Yep. Whereas
Facebook is, kind of very different in that interruption of showing an ad. So it is a lot for brand awareness, right?
Yep.
I think we say that a lot here to our clients. We want to kind of hammer that in, that it's that brand awareness of just keeping your brand in somebody's mind.
Yeah. We say a lot, like, on Facebook, you're on there to look at Facebook. You're not there to see or to buy, maybe not there to buy anything anyway. Yeah. But usually you're there to, an ad is going to be on Facebook you might see it. Yeah. You might then have it in your mind, and then you might go elsewhere in the future to go and search for it through Google or something like that.
Yeah.
So it literally, as you say, it's like an interruption nature, and you're trying to get your advert out there as much as possible, your brand out there as much as possible through Facebook. But yeah, it's mainly for the sales funnel as well. Talk about the sales funnel. It's just about the top of it. So as I say, brand awareness as much as possible. You're trying to get as many new customers, or maybe even existing ones, because you can retarget on Facebook, can't you? Yeah. Through that sales funnel to then hopefully convert at the end of it, which is what everyone wants.
Yeah, exactly. And we were at Brighton SEO in September, and we had a talk about this of how you can think of like your marketing campaigns as, let's say, like the funnel, for example, but let's use it as like a piece of rope that is like knotted in the middle, and to get from one end to the other, it's going to be quite difficult because there's lots of different barriers in the way. But if you think about your marketing campaigns as sort of those knots in that rope, and it untangles the knots. So from somebody who's at the top of the rope or the top of the funnel, trying to get down to the bottom to where they're making a purchase, it's going to be much a quicker and smoother journey when you've got your Facebook ads, Google ads, you've got SEO, you've got all these things that are just making that journey shorter. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So you kind of look at it like that, where Facebook ads might not necessarily be from beginning to end. They see an ad and they purchase straight away. It could be, I'm not saying that's never going to happen, but for somebody that's brand new, it's just that kind of, as you say, to keep it on someone's mind.
Yep. They are important, I think. Yeah. Facebook ads are extremely important, and people are skeptical of them, aren't they? Yeah. And I would agree with that, even though I work with them most days, and so do you as well. I would agree that people can be skeptical around them, because they're just, why would I throw money at Facebook when I could throw money at Google, where I know it might possibly work better, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll go back to the question. People actually do convert on Facebook.
Just perhaps maybe not directly on Facebook, but that could definitely happen.
Yeah, and we have worked with clients, and we have campaigns that are converting on.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
They are, depending on obviously the brand's goals, the business's goals as well, because You could have different goals for different campaigns, but yeah, I mean, depending on that, it will help massively. I think Facebook does help.
And I think, our favorite phrase in this industry is "it depends."
Yeah, it does depend. Yeah,
it depends on the audience. It depends on the ad copy, the targeting, everything. It kind of sometimes it's not going to work for some industries.
Nope.
And like, for example, B2B might be a bit more difficult on Facebook because it might not necessarily be a place where someone is making those business decisions.
Yep.
Whereas B2C, where you're selling perhaps like a product or something like that, it's going to work better.
Exactly. Yeah. And that moves on really to question 2, which is, how do you stand out on Facebook and attract customers as a business? This is tricky, this one, because we work with a lot of businesses that use Facebook in a number of different ways. But to attract someone on Facebook, obviously Facebook is very saturated, I guess, for adverts these days, and you really have to do something maybe out of the ordinary to stand out.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have this ongoing problem where we're trying to obviously do things differently for businesses and helping people stand out through ad copy, images, video. Video is very important these days, as we know. But yeah, it's just a way of trying not to be too salesy, which is tricky these days. Obviously, as a business, you want to sell your products, don't you? Or you sell your service. Sort of thing.
Exactly.
But if you're being too salesy, you're going to probably turn off those customers or those users and they're not going to engage with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a shame.
It's kind of getting that balance between standing out of somebody's feed, but also blending into the fact that they don't think it's a sales proposition, or it's perhaps if you make it disguise it more as a video that they would see from their friends, they're more likely to watch it.
Yeah.
Because people don't like to be sold at or watch an ad. It's always that thing of like, oh, it's an ad, I don't want to watch it. Like you watch TV and you go make a cup of tea in the ad break. Right?
Yeah,
because
exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to watch that. So making it stand out, but also not be an ad is kind of a difficult, middle ground that you have to find.
But the people as well that are seeing it, the sort of people you're targeting, as well. It depends. There you go. It depends on who your business is, but obviously you want to target the people that the right people to show your ads to.
Yeah.
So that again, it goes back to the images and video. It depends on what you're showing them. They might be interested differently to another target audience. Which is where the whole who you target sort of comes into it, I guess. But we obviously, broad targeting is something that we are working on and have heard that can work quite well.
Yes, definitely. But I think only if you have that Facebook pixel on your website.
Correct, yeah.
Because that's what collects the data of your audience. And I think without that, you probably shouldn't do broad targeting because Facebook doesn't know your customers if you give it no data.
That's it, yeah. So we'll mention the pixel a bit later on, but pixel is an important part of the whole Facebook ads journey, isn't it? Without that, you can't really collect data, and after that, you can't really find out what's working and what's not. But yeah, so as we've said, images, ad copy is extremely important. So if anyone's seen a Facebook ad, you probably get the ad copy at the top.
Yes.
You get an image in the middle, and then you get a little bit of CTA at the bottom. And obviously you can have CTAs within the ad copy as well, can't you, as well? But yeah, to start with, obviously have as attention-grabbing ad copy as possible, which no one likes reading, so don't make it long, I guess. And just try and make that relate to the image itself. There's a billion ways to do it, isn't there?
It really is all about that testing again, isn't it?
It is.
As you say, there's so many ways that you could advertise something that you've got to test those different ways and those different audiences. Like let's take an electric scooter, for example. There's certain audiences in that market to buy. So you've got to test what's going to work with them. Let's say, for example, we know it's a younger audience. So they're going to be, perhaps they might be scrolling on TikTok or something. So they're going to understand what they enjoy watching. You've got to match that because you've got to tap into that audience, and understanding them is really important to getting good ad copy.
Yeah, 100%. And then that also, as I said, links into the images or the video, which is definitely more important, I'd say, these days, and definitely going into the next year and the years forward as well. Video, engage with the user longer. You can get more of your message across, and you can even have text overlay in the video, so you can relate the ad copy within the video as well, and hopefully the user will stop watch the video, and then click through. And that is your ultimate goal. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to convert, but to click through at least is what you want people to do on your adverts, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. So do you have any like best practices that you would suggest when it comes to creating an ad on Facebook?
So for me, ad copy, I keep it short and try and keep the CTA or the first attention grabbing headline before the see more button, the see more appears, because people might not click the see more. It's very, very likely they won't actually. So try and get the best information before. In the image, I would scrap images and just go straight to video. In that video, try and get, again, that people aren't probably going to watch the video for that long, so try and get the best information to be in the first 5, maybe 10 seconds, maybe even less than that. But also, if you have any sound or any people talking through it, have captions, because not everyone is going to, probably around 50, over 60% probably people aren't going to have the sound on their phone. So yeah, it's good to have captions on there as well. And then for a CTA at the bottom, anything that relates to the actual message itself, and trying to get them that last push to try and really make them click through the advert, I think. What about you? I
think you're really right with the whole video and capturing their attention straight away. I think with the ad copy, I would say again, try and not make it salesy, as we've said. Make it. We talk about like the pain pointing and pain marketing of figuring out what pain they might have, and then marketing based off of that. So for example, this is a really small example, but I know there's a trend going on at the moment that is, I don't know if you've seen it, where it's something like, I'm a blank, I'm going to something. Like you could have it as, let's go with the electric scooters again. So it's like, I'm a commuter, I'm a London commuter, I'm a businesswoman. I'm going to tell you I commute to London every day. And then you could go, I'm a businesswoman, I'm going to tell you about this electric scooter I've got. And it's something like really stupid of how you're trying to blend into the feed, something they would watch, because those videos, I love those videos because they're relatable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So working on that, and then kind of advertising something in that, pointing out the pain. Oh, I'm a businesswoman, I go to London. I don't, I wish I could, but I could use an electric scooter to get around London or a city or something like that. And I think just pointing out that is, I think, is really
I
really
do agree. And that obviously works with the big. Well, you obviously know your audience to begin with, and you show the audience that you've managed to grab that exact advert, and it's very likely they're going to convert better, aren't they, through that advert, because you've done the research beforehand and you know exactly what to show them. Again, we talk about video a lot here, but images as well. Like try and use images that are not so, as you say, salesy, but not so corporately made in a way.
Yeah, that's good. Stock images.
We don't use. Well, you can use stock images if you want to, but try not to use them. Try to use like say Christmas is coming up, so photos of someone or a family having a nice time around a tree. But it looks like a photo someone's taken, and not so it blends in with the feeds, and people don't really know it's too much of an advert. And that might make them stop a lot more, depending on the audiences, of course. And then they could click through as well. So. Video is very important, but those sort of images could work as well.
I think this is a little bit off track with like kind of the video marketing, but like you think of like the John Lewis advert or something like that. It's showing them in a home. It's making it like relatable. So when they're seeing that in their feed, they're thinking, I'm going to be doing that. I would love to shop at John Lewis or whatever, and I want to then buy that. You see, it's like just kind of creating that understanding, that relationship with your audience that. You need me kind of thing, right? I think with Facebook ads, you can really work on that because they're in that kind of space when they're on Facebook to have those kind of thoughts of I'm a relevant customer.
Exactly, and like when you said earlier about the pain, it's literally just playing on someone's emotion, isn't it?
Which
they're not pawns. They're not pawns in our game, but you just play on. If you try and find their emotion to begin with, Christmas is a nice family time sort of thing. Definitely, then show them family photos and. They might then they'll be like, oh, I can relate to that, and there we are.
And that's on Facebook and Instagram. I say it wouldn't probably work on other types of marketing.
Good point.
But when you're kind of reaching them in a space where they're relaxed and they're just them, they're not you're not an employee or they're not a mum or anything like that. They're just them, and I think you can really reach well with Facebook ads and get them from clicking to be a customer when you've got great ad copy, you've got great creatives, and you're targeting in the right way.
Yeah, exactly. And so utilised correctly, Facebook ads could really work, couldn't they? Really helpful for you. So once you've created the ads and you know that it converts, hopefully to the audience you're targeting, the next question is, what Facebook ads metrics should you prioritize to measure a conversion success? So what you're looking for, really? Yeah, that's the tricky one, isn't it?
I think that is. I think, again, I'd say it depends on your objective. You know, you could have a retargeting campaign where you're just trying to put your brand back in their mind, or you could have a clicks campaign, right? Because you can have different types of Facebook campaigns. Just off the top of your head, can you, like, the sales one? The
sales one, the traffic one, engagement is one, leads. Yeah, there's quite a few of them, different ones. And I think they're adding them, well, in the future, I know they're going to add more as well.
Cool, yeah. So obviously it depends on what goal you've chosen. And that's really important because otherwise Facebook's going to focus on the wrong thing. So yeah, I think when you're looking for, if you're an e-commerce store, you're going to be looking for those sales, aren't you? If you're having a sales campaign, and you're going to be looking at your conversion value. That's really important to kind of get that return on ad spend just right, because you don't want to be like spending so much money and getting nothing from it.
Exactly, yeah. And obviously this podcast is called Conversions on Facebook. Yeah. It depends on what your conversion is, really.
Yeah. Because your conversion could literally just be traffic to your website.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like link clicks. And then, so link clicks are quite good on, I can't say they're quite good, but they're a useful thing on Facebook because you can track to see people are engaging with your advert and then clicking through. Yeah. Now, sometimes take the metrics from Facebook with a pinch of salt, I guess, because it's not always going to be number by number because of different factors of what's going on. I mean, someone could see your ad, as we said, and then have your brand in mind and then go and search for you somewhere else. Definitely, so therefore, it's not technically a link click from Facebook, but it's definitely a link click from somewhere else. Down the journey, down the funnel.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a really good point of how you should not just focus on what Facebook's telling you. Always have like another thing you're going to be checking. Maybe it's Google Analytics, maybe it's your Shopify store, maybe it's the back end of your website. Just always try and match up as much as possible. And it's difficult. It's really difficult to do that because we have clients that the data just doesn't match because different software, different tools, like consider a conversion as different in whatever you're looking at. Maybe it's Google Ads and your conversion might have been a bit of everything that made them convert, but you're going to see like the number one everywhere, and then it just adds up.
That's right,
yeah. And it's not necessarily true, so you have to like compare it.
And the comparison's hard as well because they've got on Facebook they're cost per result.
Yes.
Whereas on Google it's like cost per click. Yeah. They have different terminology for the same things. On both platforms. Yeah. So it's trying to marry those up at the same time, marrying your data up as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's difficult, I think, to kind of get that number, and you will never get that number.
No.
It's impossible. Yeah. There's so many factors that go into it, especially if like you have a in-person store. They might have made a conversion there. You're never going to link that up to Facebook, are you?
No,
but it could have been what made them convert. So
I think a good way of doing it as well. If you get customers, if you have a physical store and you have customers come into your store, ask them to say where have you found out about us, sort of thing. Yeah. And it's interesting to know that if you through Facebook, that's great because that means people are actually seeing your efforts in a way and just sort of knowing about you more, and then hopefully they can word of mouth. Obviously, is a massive help. Good point. So so Facebook can convert through physical as well, which is quite strange, isn't it? Yeah.
So the metrics you're looking for really depend on your goal. If you're looking for those clicks, look at the clicks, look how much they cost. If you're looking for sales, look how many purchases you've made. And you can also see like add to cart or like different kind of journeys towards that purchase. Look at your conversion value. If your leads, look at how much that lead cost you. And then perhaps you could attribute what that lead in particular made in you in a sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for example, we work with a lot of private schools, don't we? So like when they're getting a book a tour form, if you could match that up to them actually being a student and paying you thousands of pounds a year, you can see that value. You could work that out. I'm not saying it's easy, but you could technically, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you really deep dive into it. You really could.
Data crazy people.
Yeah,
like we like to be. We like to look at the data and know the data.
Exactly, and it's frustrating when Facebook doesn't give you the exact numbers, isn't it? Sometimes, like Google can in a way, but Facebook seems to be a bit more broad with it. but it doesn't mean that conversions are not coming from Facebook. I would say they definitely are sometimes. But yeah, we say with the add to cart stuff, we've got going back to the other question about how to attract the customers into it. You make sure the ad copy or the CTA copy, is relating to what's on your landing page, isn't it? Just because that will actually help conversions better. Because if someone sees an add to cart, not add to cart, what is it? I guess is it add to cart on Facebook?
Buy now.
Yeah, by the buy now button. If there's a buy now button on there, then they go to the website. Then they might see a buy now or add to cart sort of thing. Similar terminology that will help. It will continue on their journey. Sort of
point. Yeah, I think we always say it's not the click that converts, right? It's definitely your landing page. Obviously, other factors into that. But if you have a landing page, if you're selling, let's say, hockey shoes, and you go to a landing page that's just a generic sports shoes, there's going to be lower conversion. Isn't there? Because it's not as relevant. So, when you're having a Facebook ad, don't just, focus only on the content, only on the audience targeting. Also focus on the journey after that they click.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's literally it's the beginning of their journey, really, isn't it? If they've never heard of your brand, Facebook is the beginning of their journey.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's where a link click could be good.
Yeah.
Because they've now officially clicked through to your website for the first time ever. So that's where Facebook has converted technically on your campaign. Yeah. So it also really it depends on the business and your goals, really, doesn't it? Depending on the on how you should prioritize the metrics.
Okay, so Tom, does Facebook automatically prioritize and show ads to users who have previously engaged with the business page or content?
Yes, it does. And you can use, so anyone that's seen your ad will see it again, likely, or they'll see a different version of the ad. And they definitely will engage with it again. And you can use this information to retarget them.
Yeah.
And create different ads where they may have not clicked through or not converted at that point. They can then hopefully see another ad that might be more relevant to them, and they might click through to that next time. What is the Facebook pixel, and is it essential for tracking and optimizing ad performance?
Yeah, so the Facebook pixel is just Meta pixel now is a piece of code that goes on your website that tracks your customers and their activity. So it kind of gathers that data in an audience, and you can then target them on Facebook. So having that on your website is really important for your audience targeting, because Facebook understands them more and can find the people on Facebook to match that audience, basically. So it's really important to have it on your website to optimize for your ad performance, because without it, you don't really know. Facebook doesn't really know who to target. So I would definitely say, even if you're not thinking of running Facebook ads anytime soon, just put it on your website so it gathers that data for when you're ready to do ads. Then you can, and you have that data. So I definitely say, if you don't have one, put it on your site, and you can easily connect that. If you have like a Shopify store, for example, you can easily connect that up like that. So I would definitely recommend it.
Is it possible to run Facebook ads without a business page on the platform?
No. So if you want to run Facebook or Instagram ads, you need to have your Facebook page set up, and it is a really simple process. It doesn't need to be anything fancy if you're not going to use it. It just needs to have your business name. But I would recommend having a Facebook page anyway, because that's another touch point for a customer to come to have a look at what you're about and what you're selling. So you definitely need one to run ads, but it's super easy to set up.
We can probably talk all day about Facebook and Facebook ads, because there's a lot that can go into it. But I think that what we've spoken about today has actually really helped.
Yeah.
And just really being insightful about what can change in the future.
Yeah.
Go on quickly. What do you think?
That's a really good question. I think it's going to be a lot more video. Do you think?
Yep, I agree.
I think you really need to hammer down on your video and creatives, because we're in a consumer world where we're always scrolling. We're always scrolling.
100%.
So kind of just standing out is so hard nowadays, and I think it's going to get harder. So catching it from now, where you have the time to test things, to find out what works for you, I think it's going to skyrocket. It's more like TikTok and things like that. Mm-hmm. I think you need to see now we're in a space that you could, go crazy and test everything. 100%.
Also, we were talking about this earlier, the rise of AI as well.
That's a really
I know that there's you can create images quite easily now through AI. and it's swings and roundabouts whether you should use them or not. I mean they are technically your images, so you can use them if you want to, but it's just whether or not they'll work to convert in your campaign. And then obviously, I'm sure in the very near future there's going to be video. You can create video quite easily. So we'll be testing, won't we? We'll definitely be using some kind of AI just to try and see if it works better for our clients and different campaigns. But yeah, it's exciting to see it evolve incredibly quickly. And we could use it to hopefully utilize them. I think we'll wrap up there. It's been really interesting talking about Facebook ads. It always is. And hopefully we've proven, well, not proven, but hopefully we've at least given you some insights that Facebook ads convert. It just depends on what your business is and what your targeting is and how well you want it to convert, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's really interesting to look at those different areas of how you can use Facebook ads to benefit your business and what you're trying to sell.
Exactly, yeah. Well, thank you. I've been Tom.
I've been Afia. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Inside Digital Podcast. Make sure to visit our website at tillison.co.uk, where you can read more about the topics discussed in this show and much more. If you're looking to get started or to continue your digital marketing journey, we can help. Just reach out to one of our experts through our website. We'd love to hear if you found value in the show. Please leave a review and be sure to tune in for our next episode.